Our story begins in the Big Bad Beetleborgs episode Big Rumble in Charterville, where Drew in his Mega Blue mode blasts Shadowborg with an energy beam, destroying him for good. In the original timeline, Josh lost his powers because Shadowborg was destroyed, but in this timeline, Josh somehow kept his powers, even when Shadowborg himself was destroyed. Drew, Joe, and Roland would be completely surprised yet confused about this, with Drew being all like, "Wait a minute. I thought your powers were supposed to fade after Shadowborg's destruction?" And Josh being all like, "I know. But why aren't my powers fading?" All four Beetleborgs would then head to the Hillhurst mansion to tell Flabber that Josh didn't lose his powers, even though Shadowborg was destroyed. Everyone, including Flabber and even Art Fortunes himself, would be completely shocked but also confused. But then Art would figure it all out, saying that Shadowborg and Josh's powers weren't actually connected all along, as Shadowborg himself was created by Vexor while Josh's powers were created by Art himself. Roland would then be all like, "Of course. That explains why Josh never lost his powers, even after Shadowborg's destruction. And because Josh never lost his powers unlike the original timeline, he would stay with the other three Beetleborgs for the rest of the series." And yes, the timeline would obviously remain the same, albeit the only difference being that Josh now stays as a full-time member of the Beetleborgs. He would even use his civilian power of invisibility to help the kids solve problems. All four Beetleborgs would even defeat Vexor and the Magnivores by sending them back to the comics upon Borgslayer's destruction at the end of the first season. Unfortunately, much like the original timeline, this leads to Nukus and the Crustaceans becoming the new antagonists of the second season. And yes, the four Beetleborgs would fight Nukus, only to have their powers destroyed. But luckily, Art Fortunes helps them by creating the new Metallix armor, becoming the Beetleborgs Metallix. And because Josh himself staying in this new timeline, he would also gain a new Metallix form, much like Drew, Joe, and Roland did like the original timeline. And yes, much like the first season, the timeline would most likely stay the same as the original, with the only difference being Josh joining the Beetleborgs Metallix fighting new monsters and saving the day. He even gets his own Mega Specta armor form like the other three Beetleborgs. But the finale Mega Borg power would have a different ending, instead of Nukus not being sent back to the comics unlike the original timeline's ending. As soon as the Beetleborgs trick Nukus into giving up one of his most powerful weapons known as Boron, Josh decides to use his Borg beam ability to blast Nukus and the other crustaceans so hard, it actually destroys all of them, wrapping up the cliffhanger ending from the original timeline's version of Mega Borg power. After his successful victory of the crustaceans, everyone would celebrate at the Hillhurst mansion, with Flabber comically celebrating. And then years later, the kids would be grown-ups with their own children, with Drew being married to Heather and Joe being married to Josh himself. And just like that, everyone along with Flabber, the Hillhurst monsters, and Art Fortunes, except his brother Les Fortunes, who decided to go back to jail, would all live happily ever after. What are your thoughts on this cool what if? Make sure to leave a like and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content.